We finally did it! After about 6 months of being up in the air, waiting for numerous errors to be fixed and finalized, we have officially moved to our new place in Oregon. Despite this being one of our closer moves, thank you, Army, I felt like this one was a little bit bonkers and we still have yet to finish unpacking. However, I'm here today to bring y'all along with me as I prep to move the girls down to our new barn. By the way, if you're new here, hello. Welcome. My name is Shay, and on this channel I post about my 2 horses, Sage, my paint mare, and Penny, my Mustang filly, as well as some horsey educational videos. If you'd like to follow along, feel free to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ding that little notification bell. Without further ado, let's get into it. First thing we did was actually head to the local Loco to pick up a few things like extra vitamins and electrolytes the day prior, but of course, my kiddo and I had to stop and look at the cutest little ducklings before we actually got started with packing on day 1.
All right, it is the 4th of July. We have 4 days until I'm moving the girls. So today I'm gonna go in and just kind of get some of the grain ready so that when we move them down, we're moving to a full care facility, so they'll be able to take care of grain, hay, stalls, all that stuff. Dude, I'm trying to talk! Oh my god. We made it to the barn. It's like 95 degrees today. I'm gonna be here as long as I have to be before we can just go home. My kid is here with me too, so I really don't want to have him out in this heat. So we're gonna get started on making this grain right now, get it done, and then we're gonna get out of here. For those of you that are interested in my morning routine video that I just posted a couple of weeks ago, I go over all the girls' grain then. The only thing that's a little bit different is instead of doing the trifecta, I have regular horse guard to send down with them.
I purchased these buckets at Fred Meyer to be able to separate the girls' grain. I also picked up Ziplocs, specifically the freezer quart bags. They're a little thicker than regular Ziplocs, so I can reuse them. As you saw in the beginning, I picked up more horse guard and electrolytes. Electrolytes are great to give during long hauls to encourage your horse to drink more water during and around that trip, so the girls have been getting some prior to moving. I'm also going to throw in cocoa soya for their coats and a little bit of platinum biosponge for the first days after hauling. It helps to keep their gut bound together a little better during stressful events. I prepped 10 baggies per horse to make sure I had enough for the time period that I wouldn't be near them, and then a few days added just in case I couldn't get there right away. Both girls are getting 1 scoop of horse guard, 1 scoop of electrolytes, and 1 scoop of cocoa soya in every baggie. They're also getting about a half scoop of the biosponge and 2 of the baggies to be given first. Before I add Timothy pellets, I like to mix up all the supplements, and you can clearly see the difference between the baggie with biosponge and the one without. Each bag also got 1 scoop of Timothy pellets to empty out my feed bin.
I was really hoping I would have enough of the Timothy pellets. And I am just shy, so I'm gonna have to go to Wilco and go get more pellets. Good morning, everyone. It is the 5th today, so we have 4 more days until I haul the girls out. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the day we haul. So today, I'm debating whether or not I actually want to get stuff done at the barn because it's another super hot one today. So we are hitting, I think, 96 today. So I'm gonna probably try to stay out of the heat as much as possible. I do need to pick up some hay so that I have some to be able to transition the girls from the hay that I have to the hay at the new place. I haven't looked at my trailer, and I should have. Ew. Oh no. Ugh. Wasps. I was gonna clean up my trailer, but I don't want to die today. And I'm not about to get stung a billion times. There were so many. I don't know if you can even see how many eggs there were in that nest. That was. This is how much I have right now. Hi. This is how much I have right now. I'm planning on going through the rest of this before we leave, but I think I want to get another 3 bales 4 bales for me to be able to transfer them over to new hay. For those of you that don't know, transferring your hay over slowly is super, super important. Otherwise you can end up with colic, a bunch of other GI issues. So I always put a little bit of biosponge, and I think I mentioned this already, but I always put a little bit of biosponge in the grain for the first couple of days because it just kind of absorbs anything and keeps the gut all kind of bound together correctly. So I like putting that in there, get some less stress poops, makes it a little bit easier of a transition. It is like 96 degrees today, but I bought more Raid to kill the wasps in the trailer because they're gross. I probably shouldn't be spraying now. Should honestly be spraying later. The point to waiting for a little bit is for it to cool down, for all the wasps to, oh God, bedding in my eye, so that they're not out and mad. But I'm gonna spray them and they're gonna get mad. Putting on sunglasses for eye protection. Oh God, I hate this. Okay, damn it. So I need to clean all this stuff out because I haven't. There's another nest. Oh God.
Despite the absolute nastiness of those wasp nests, I need to get my trailer cleaned out, so I started pulling everything out that I threw in the manger before I noticed yet another nest.
There's another one over there. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. God, ew.
I then needed to pull out the hay bags and found out just how gross those were after sitting.
One thing I always like to check is that there's no wasp nest in there too. Wish me luck. I'll die today. Oh, I doused it. Okay, I have the 2 hay bags I want to get filled for the girls. Oh my God. Ew, that was an adventure in itself. I just hate wasps so much.
To clean the hay bags, I dumped all the hay and started with just hosing them down. After I felt like I got the bulk of it, I filled a small bucket, rinsed the bags again, then let them sit in water while I worked on the hay room.
Last thing I want to get done today, aside from spraying that other wasp nest, I want to get this room kind of cleaned up. This is where I've been storing my hay.
All of this is pretty self-explanatory, just scraping up the loose hay to feed to the girls, then sweep the dust and debris into the garbage, and pick up the pallets to be able to sweep underneath them to finish out the day.
Not all places will make you like deep clean your stalls and stuff before you go. I just really felt the need to get this place clean, and I am just so grateful for everything that my barn owner has done. Shout out if you're watching this, hello. Maddox says hello. I'm filming this before we leave, but I already know that I'm gonna miss you like crazy, and I just so appreciate everything that you have done for both me, my kiddo, and my ponies. Stop. Just want to say thank you, but let's get back to cleaning. Got it pretty much clean. All right, it is now Thursday. I have like 2 days left until I move in the girls, and today, since I hit the trailer with the wasp spray yesterday, I'm gonna try to clean it out. I saw a couple wasps flying around this morning, so awesome. But we're gonna try to get at least a little bit of it cleaned out. I really wanna get the hay area scrubbed since there was some moldy hay in there, and it needs to dry before we start trailering. Honestly, a lot of that bedding looks like it's in really good shape, so I'm probably gonna try to just keep all that, maybe throw in a little bit more for this trip, but the rest of it looks like it's still in good shape. So we'll just use that and hope for the best with the wasps. They freak me out.
To start with cleaning the mangers, I took a pitchfork to scrape out all the extra hay that was sitting in there before I scrubbed it out with warm water, which I forgot to film. While I was letting that dry, I loaded the wheelbarrow up with clean shavings and mixed it with what was left in the trailer. Everything that was left was in good shape, so I didn't see any issue with using it for this trip too.
What's crazy is I have literally the perfect amount of hay left to get me through to moving. So we're gonna get the hay bag loaded up today. I wasn't sure that I was gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. I got a little bit more energy, just enough to finish this, and then we can go home. Good morning, everyone. It is so much later than when I wanted to leave. I wanted to get out of here about 7:30. It is 9:50. At least it's cooler today than it has been the last few days. It's supposed to be a high of like 81 today versus it's been in the 90s lately. So that means at least right now it is only 60, which is good. I've got a lot cooler weather to work with here, but let's go ahead and get to the barn. Today we're gonna just load all the tack up. I think I'm gonna put quite a bit of it in my trailer, but I also totally cleared out my truck to be able to put more in the truck too. So we'll see how this goes.
Since I have my little one with me every day, I've left a playpen and a box full of barn toys that I needed to load up to take to the new place. This thing is gross, so honestly it could use a good scrub. Next, I grabbed the hay bags I loaded yesterday and took them to the trailer. I always make sure to do a quick release knot on the hay bags just in case, and make sure I open the vents for airflow. I needed to load the last bale I had, but I made sure to stack that one in the back to make it the first to grab before I folded the tarp down over it and tied the sides down with some twine. Honestly, twine is my best friend for hauling things in the back of the truck. Next, I loaded up my grain bins, even making sure to tie the lids down with twine, and headed back to sweep up the last bit of debris in the hay room. The last thing to get stuffed in the back was my pedestal, to which I stood there and contemplated how to load it for way too long before just flipping it on its side to close the tailgate.
This is the worst part about changing barns, is packing up all the tack that you've accumulated in the time that you've been at said barn. And I have a lot of things I've accumulated. It's also a little bit harder when you don't want to leave the barn either. It's really hard to just pack everything up because I don't want to leave here, but I would like to live with my husband again. That would be nice.
All my tack I ended up throwing into another wheelbarrow to haul out to my truck and trailer. I didn't totally have a rhyme or reason for loading it all, but ended up with most of my English tack in my truck and the Western gear and freestyle props in my trailer tack room. I filled space with a few things like my kid's helmet and cones. I also tossed my riding boots in my truck and loaded my hoof jack into the back to snug in with the pedestal.
Okay, I think I'm good for today. I think everything is packed. I've got pretty much everything loaded up in the truck and trailer. I just need to get the rest from the house and we'll be good to go. We leave tomorrow. It's a little bit crazy. I'm excited. Less than a month until I get to live with my husband again. Less than a month? Less than a week! Oh, it has been a day. I realized I didn't record anything other than once I got the girls situated, which is a little bit of a bummer because I was so looking forward to filming them getting here. But I got them loaded this morning. It was a little bit of a nightmare because Penny is getting to be too big for my trailer, which I didn't really think was going to be an issue, but she tried to kind of like turn around in a straight load. Like, girl, got her to back out. This is after I'd already loaded Sage too, so they were both loaded. She decided to turn around, and so I had to back her out of the trailer, get her to give me the lead rope to back out of the trailer, push her forward because she wouldn't get off the butt chain, so I couldn't get the butt chain off. It was all just kind of a nightmare, but once we got going, they were fabulous. They hauled great. We got down in about 3 hours, and they're settling into their new place fairly well. They have got hot fence all the way around, which I prefer. They have lots of room to be able to move around. In the winters, they'll go into stalls where they can, you know, stay a little bit warmer, but they've got lots of shade right now, and we've got our hay to be able to switch them over. And yeah, overall, it seems like everything is going okay so far. I'm waiting to hear how they're doing in a couple hours, make sure they're settling in. The one thing that kind of sucks right now is they can't see each other. So Penny and Sage are on opposite sides, but I think it'll be good for them. I don't want them to be buddy sour, honestly, and they've gotten pretty buddy sour since they've been together, since I got Penny. So it's kind of good that they're getting some time apart, that they can start to understand that they'll eventually see each other again. It's not the end of the world. For right now, we've got about 5 days until I move down, so I'll be able to see him again in 5 days. Where I'm gonna be about 3 hours away, so if there's emergency or anything, she's got my phone number and she can call me. She's gonna keep me posted. So yeah, overall good stuff. I've got my Subway. I'm gonna drive home and go to bed probably as soon as I get home at like 6 o'clock because I am exhausted and I still have 3 hours of driving. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably make a whole intro for this, make it all fancy, but if not, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.